Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for a video response episode today. This one is going out to my buddy Darren, who I'm sure you know, over at Return to Collecting here on YouTube. Just an amazing guy, so friendly, incredible collection, great community supporter, and somebody who I've been a fan of since he really started here on YouTube. I remember him breaking in with this really crazy countdown of his top cards, which were some of his first videos, and just watching them and thinking to myself, holy cow, this guy has just an incredible collection, and he's definitely going to become a pretty big deal here in the community, and I'm glad that's definitely transpired, and he has now surpassed 1,000 subs, so huge congrats, Darren, very well deserved. Darren, despite having a jaw-dropping collection, and I don't use that term loosely, is one of the nicest guys that you will encounter in this hobby and in our YouTube community. So really happy to support him with this VR. Not to mention he's got a pretty amazing prize, which I'll leave it to you to check out as well. So what does Darren want to see for his 1,000 subscriber celebration VR? Two things. He wants to know kind of a big card that's on your target list for the next 12 months. So something that's really high on the list and a significant card, but also something that's attainable. So not like a 52 tops mantle here, or anything along those lines. Although maybe for some that is your card. But in my budget, need to go a little bit lower than that to find something that I will actually obtain within the next 12 months. And then the second part of the VR, he wants to see 3 channels or hear about 3 channels who are 300 subs or under. So let's start with the card that I want to acquire in the next year. And it has to do with this Sandy Koufax rookie card that we've seen out here as I've been rambling through the intro. Obviously, this is not the card. I've already got one. However, my card that I've selected for the VR is from this set. And I would like to, in the next year, pursue the 1955 Topps Willie Mays. Now, the reason behind that is I'm just past the halfway point on what I've called sort of my slow build or half-assed 55 set build. Just been really picking up cheap commons on mostly ComC over the years for like $1, $1.50, something like that. And then in addition to that, I've got the Koufax rookie, which I picked up, I think 2 years ago. And also, I'm very fortunate to have the Roberto Clemente rookie, which was a big purchase of mine early on in my return to the hobby. So I've got the 2 biggest rookies kind of down, half the set done, and I'm getting not serious, but maybe semi-serious about trying to plod through the rest of the 55 top set build. And when I look at, the star players that I'm missing, or rookies that I'm missing, from a monetary standpoint, I think the Willie Mays is the largest remaining obstacle that I have. So I would love to find a copy that looks, very similar to this Koufax. I'll definitely be going graded anytime I spend, $100 or more on a vintage card. I kind of just like the protection that grading offers me. So I'll be looking for something in like the 2 to 3 range, just like that Koufax, but with, hopefully better visual appeal than the grade would indicate. And that's still going to be a tough card for me. That will cost, in my estimation, a few $100s, maybe $500 to $600. And on top of that, if I hope to keep it in that range, it's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of looking around and hunting and searching. And so we'll see how it goes. Will I land the Willie or not? The next year will tell. But that is the card that I want for this VR. Now, my favorite part of the VR, and I love that Darren included this because he is such a great supporter of this community and getting other channels' attention and kind of extending the community. And that's something that I try to do here on this channel. I probably don't do it enough, but I love giving shout outs. And as I said, he wants to see shout outs to 3 channels that are 300 subs or less. And I've added a wrinkle to this where I'm going to show a card or two, or in this case, a pack that remind me of each of my channels, just to kind of give you something to look at as I'm talking. So we're going to start with Wax Nostalgic Dave. This is a newer channel. Dave does a great job. I gave him kind of like a shout out in the form of a post a little while back on my channel, but I want to do it on video here and say some words about him. His channel's got to be only a month or 2 old now, but I love it. He rips a lot of packs just like this. And what I dig about it, he's clearly a smart guy with a great sense of humor, really nice setup. The cards look clean, and his videos are easily digestible. He rips open a pack, and it takes him probably, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. And they're just a really great way to break up your day or kind of live vicariously through a pack rip. So I don't open a lot of packs myself, but it's really neat that between meetings or over my cup of morning coffee, I can stop over at Dave's channel. He puts out about a video a day, and I can just watch him kind of casually open a pack of cards like this 2024 Topps pack that I've had sitting on my shelf for a while. And check out this Stars of MLB Jason Dominguez. That's pretty cool. Flip this over. We've got an Ozzy Albies. These are just base cards here. Avisail Garcia from Series 2. Josh Young. Slade Ciccone, probably mispronounced that. Nick Lodolo. Brandon Drury. There's a nice one. Clayton Kershaw. Really dig that image. And as Dave does on his channel, we'll kind of put that one up on the back wall. Very fitting to have Clayton in front of Sandy there. Motivated in Minnesota, a Twins team card. And then here's a cool one. I've seen this online, but I have not acquired my own yet, at least not the base card. Best of the best. Two of my favorites over the last, say, 10 years in Major League Baseball, Mookie Betts and Rafi Devers. That would probably be my pick for card of the pack. Francisco Alvarez, Future Stars. And we've got a Spencer Strider, Fantasy Favorites. And then we end with this pretty cool parallel here of Bo Bichette, who unfortunately missed a lot of time this year due to injury. So that's kind of a taste there of what you might get on Dave's channel. He gets into all kinds of older stuff, back in the 80s and 90s, right up to modern day. And again, just really like his approach. They're really fun videos, and I think you'll enjoy it. So head over. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, let's show Dave some love over at Wax Nostalgic. Next up, my buddy Brent over at Brent Richards and Baseball Cards. And he's the reason I have this Nolan Ryan up in the background here. I cannot recommend this channel enough. I'll say that about each of the following two channels here that are going to close it out. These are channels, similar to mine. They're showing singles, collection showcases, things that you just don't see often, or a unique perspective on the hobby, which tends to make my favorite type of channel. I'm finding, even in the first few weeks here of Brent's channel, two things that I think are really cool. Number one, we have an incredible number of things in common. I believe we're around the same age, so we have a very similar hobby timeline. Love that 80s, late 80s into the early 90s and through the 90s stuff. Our favorite players are even the same, amazingly. So he's a big Nolan Ryan fan, which is why I have this buyback out in the background, although it's doing double duty as Darren, who's this VR is for, is also a Nolan Ryan guy. He loves Cal Ripken Jr. just like I do. And what I really dig about Brent, he has shown just in his first few videos so many cards that just made me stop and appreciate them that I never knew existed prior to him starting his channel. And I think that's really his goal. He seems to be focused on, the early 90s and up, but just gets into like really obscure, hard to find, off the beaten path type cards and sets that I just don't see elsewhere. And I'm somebody who's been in the hobby for almost 20 years now as an adult, in my second go around, plus a handful of years as a kid. And despite that, even in just his first few videos, Brent has blown my mind with some cards from a time period where I was collecting, but I had no idea they existed. He's been responsible for me hitting the wallet a couple times. I've already made a couple of purchases online thanks to Brent and his, we'll call it inspiration that his channel provides. So really, really digging his content. I cannot say enough good things. To me, he is an essential subscription, focuses on an era in baseball and the hobby that you don't see on too many other channels. So I really appreciate that as well. And for Brent, in addition to the Nolan Ryan, wanted to show something I haven't shown on the channel before that I thought is kind of a fit for what you might see over at Brent Richards and Baseball Cards. And it's this Cal Ripken Jr. Check it out. A favorite player of Brent's. And this is from the 1995 Select Certified Gold Team insert set. Look at that card. Just stunning. And again, this is, right from the mid 90s. So I feel like this is kind of in Brent's wheelhouse. And I look at the effect on this. I've shown other cards, hockey versions of these as well. And probably the coolest thing about this card that you may not know if you've never held one in hand, the back of the card also has a gold shine to it. I mean, that is just tremendous. I don't feel like we get anything like this from Fanatics nowadays. Certainly not in like just a lower end insert set. This is not a numbered card. This is not an expensive card. Got this in a CSG 9 for probably $20. And I'm telling you, this looks better than anything that I've seen spill out of a pack of relatively reasonably priced product here in 2024. So there's my shout out to Brent. Just awesome guy and can't miss channel. And then the third and final channel, I'm not going to lie, this one makes me a little aggravated. This better be the last time that I can mention this channel in a VR on, where the requirement is 300 subs or less. Please go over and subscribe to Peeps, also known as Peeps Wax Packs, an amazing channel, an amazing individual. You may have caught him live on Hobby Palooza with my buddies Dylan and Adam. Gets into everything from, cards that are 100 years old, vintage baseball, pre-war baseball, all the way up to 2024 product. I've seen basketball, he does hockey, just a great eye for cardboard, amazing sense of humor, and every one of his videos that I watch, almost unanimously, I leave that video knowing something that I didn't know or wanting a card that I didn't know I wanted prior to watching that video. So Peeps is just awesome. I have two cards actually to show to reference his channel. Number one, Erling Haaland. I know Peeps like me. He's a soccer fan and a fan, I should say, and a fan of the English Premier League specifically. And Haaland now is tearing that league up with Manchester City. Just had a hat trick, in fact, this past weekend. He's won the Golden Boot. He's just an amazing player. And so I have this early career Topps Chrome Bundesliga refractor in a PSA Fine 9. I know Josh would appreciate that. Probably owns a copy of that one, quite honestly. And then lastly, Peeps, a Minnesota native and current Minnesota resident. So I had to break out this, never shown this before, but got a steal on this 85 Donruss Kirby Puckett due to the sign grade of an 8.5, but just a great looking card there of somebody that I know there are a couple Puckett collectors out there, but you don't tend to hear a whole lot about them here on YouTube, or I don't in my circles anyway, but thought this was the perfect time to unveil this one as a tribute to my buddy Peeps. So that's a wrap. I really have a hard time keeping these brief despite my best intentions, but again, please go visit Peeps, Josh, Dave over at Wax Nostalgic, and Brent at Brent Richards and Baseball Cards. And lastly, a huge thank you and a major congratulations to Darren over at Return to Collecting on your well-earned 1,000 subs. Looking forward to the next 1,000 and the next couple of years of your content into the future. Keep it up, buddy. And to everybody else, thank you for stopping by. And as you know, I'll be back soon with some more content. Till then, take care and enjoy the hobby. See ya.